Right? Shalom. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. I want to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Salutations to all the Akim around the world pushing his word in truth and sincerity. Right? I'm one from the Great Millstone camp in Trinidad. And I'm going to do a video here on God. No mind you hearing the cars passing. No, I park up in my car here. And I'm doing a video on God, which is the North American Indians. Which God is one of Jacob's sons, which is the North American Indians, right? Today. You know, because I was watching them the other day and I say, boy, I do a video on God, boy. Could I be brother too? You understand? America, let's try to make it look like the forgotten and the lost and they're not wrong no more, but they still. And prophecy had to fulfill on God still. That things God had to do. And we will get into that just now. You know? But I'm going to do a video on God and showing how God, the living conditions we're God in right now, boy. Terrible, boy. God living real poor, boy. You understand? God living real poor. Yeah, God living very poor, very poor, and it's terrible to see, boy. But I still I'm going to do a video on them. And I'm going to show how God living and why God living so. You know? And the tribe of God, which is one of Jacob's sons, which I believe is Zilpah, Leah's handmaid, bear unto him, is the North American Indians today. And without further ado, let me play this video here.
Them the first American, but when it comes to funding and living conditions, many American Indians appear to be coming in last. This is especially true for the Oglala Sioux, a tribe that has lived for generations on the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation in South Dakota. Here's RT's correspondent, Christine Frizzau.
For the American Indian, there is history, and there is now, fantasy, and reality. And on the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation in South Dakota, there are no twisted illusions about which is which.
It's because of the poverty, the high unemployment rate here on the reservation. There's just no jobs.
Oglala Sioux Tribe President Teresa Tubal says about 80% of people who live on the reservation are unemployed. There are a few outreach organizations, a Subway sandwich shop, and the Prairie Wind Casino, which employs about 300 people from the tribe. But when it opened, the goal was to draw people in from the surrounding counties, a plan that so far has failed.
Unfortunately, the primary revenue probably comes from the reservation itself.
Ivan Sorbel with the Pine Ridge Area Chamber of Commerce says they're working on building an economy from scratch, encouraging entrepreneurs to start their own businesses.
Services like oil changes, tire services, that's lacking around here. A barber, we don't have a barber. Ice cream, we can't buy a shake here on the reservation.
It's estimated that 80% of the dollars that come onto the reservation leave the reservation within 72 hours. Much of that money is spent right here across the state line in White Clay, Nebraska.
Give a shot of courage. Okay, what do you need?
Tell me a little bit about what you guys are doing out here today.
This brother here, that brother there, I watching he, boy, and I said that had to be, that one of Jacob's sons, right? Through the spirit I feeling he is an Israelite. He's one of Jacob's sons.
Hustling some money, that's what we're doing right now.
See? Watch him carefully.
See what's So we could get drunk. That's the plan. Keep warm.
Same knows
Even in the
everything
middle
just
of
like
the
a
day,
me. Just like a
this
so-called
is a
me.
common scene.
They
Since
wanna
White
Jacob
Clay is
sons.
just 2 miles south of Pine
Niggas.
Ridge. But most here think the proximity is irrelevant.
They drive 20 miles. They drive. There's bootleggers that call them barbecues by the truckload.
John's everything got all the madness around here. You know,
about everything.
numb everything up.
In a recent meeting with tribe leaders, U.S. President Barack Obama calls them the first Americans and pledged his support.
I know what it means.
Hey, really and truly, fuck Obama and he bullshit, eh? Obama is a heathen, eh? Obama is no Israelite. He's a heathen. He's a Hamite. He's not one of we people.
It means to feel ignored and forgotten, and what it means to struggle. So you will not be forgotten as long as I'm in this White House.
See? And that's what Jake like. Jake like them kind of thing. So they come to tell you two fucking bullshit words. Ooh. And this video, what I'm playing here, looking like a video was shoot long time ago. And up to the day, they still don't do nothing for them fucking Gadites. The tribe of God. Up to this very single day, we living in 2016, God's still in poverty. And it has some who sell out among God, who had a little big, who had the casinos, and Reuben, who sell out among God and Reuben and had the casinos and hotels and thing. But majority of them, the majority in poverty. They know where they're getting the next meal from and all. But the curses in Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, also apply unto them, boy. It applied to them, so them had to be Jacob trend. Playing the video again.
Tubal says base funding has not increased for years, and more than half of it never even makes it to the reservation.
They allocate the dollars on Congress level, then it goes to the regional level, and they take their cut.
By the time it gets to the tribes, there are 16 in this region alone. They have to fight for what's left.
It's really hard that they have us fighting among each other over the dollars when the need is so great on every reservation.
The need here, perhaps most apparent in the way people live. Most homes look like this, and often have 10 or 12 people living inside.
We need 4,000
See?
homes.
Along some of the roads,
It says that 10. The homes, you see how they show the homes looking? And that 10 or 12 people living inside. Now, these people, going back, if you do history, going back to about what, 400 years, 500 years ago, they owned the whole land of America. We see New York, Chicago, Dallas, Washington, D.C. Them did own the whole land. It belonged to them before the Europeans came in and killed all of them, killed majority. And look at the conditions they're living in today, boy. So you can't tell me the so-called white man is not the devil, boy. Like the devil, boy. Only a devil go happy. Go come and see people living there, kill the people and them, and push them in a corner, and have them catching the ass, boy. You have to be Satan. You have to have Satan in you for that. It come like you come inside of my house, tie me up in my house, and put me in a little corner in my own house to rest. You understand? Put me in a little corner in my own house and tell me sleep there. Thy unrighteousness, the so-called white man, is the devil what the Bible talk about. But we are the people living by. And I ain't bothering this man. This man sit down there in his office and have all the trillions of dollars in the world. And this he see this thing. And then do he nothing. You know why? Because he know who the hell he conquer. He know who he take down. He know them people was Jacob Trent. I go in and kill Jacob, sure, I go and do them this. And then go and bother me. That is what he was saying. So that ain't bothering him up to this very single day.
Along some of the roads, skeletons of old cars. These too are used as homes. The buildings that do stand strong are often rotting on the inside.
Our buildings are condemned.
Tribal leaders say their pleas are simple.
Treat us how you would a foreign country, how you work with them. That's what we are. We're the foreign country in your backyard.
Though the answers still seem a long way off.
See, do the answers still seem a long way off. A long way off. Just now, hold on, sir. No, try the video. Right? Yes, okay, about that. Try the video, right? No. This is how God living on the reservations. Look at that. These people and them that own. These people and them that own the whole land of America. Watch how them living today, boy. Look at that, boy. You understand? They did own the entire land of America. Look at how they living today, boy. Look. You see? That's how the rest in the head today, boy. After owning all this land, the rest in the head so today. So look at these people and tell me if they ain't get conquered, but they get conquered, boy. When you read the scriptures on how God was a warrior tribe, you know? A freaking warrior tribe. Them used to war, you know? Go out and look and war, you know? God and Reuben, you know? Scriptures tell you that, you know? Men valiant in war, you know? And fit to battle, I believe, just roughly paraphrasing, you know? But the scriptures tell you that. That's how the North American Indians was. Now look at them, boy. This is how they living. That's how they living, boy. So the so-called white man is the devil and he had to go. That ain't any sense, boy. Watch how the people living, boy. Go on this, like, yeah? Yeah, watch how the people living, boy. Yeah, them catching the ass, boy. That ain't right. This is Genesis chapter 30, verse 9. When Leah, which was one of Jacob's wife, saw that she had left bearing, she took Zilpah, her maid, and gave Jacob to wife. And Zilpah, Leah's maid, bare Jacob a son. And Leah said, a troop cometh, and she called his name Gad. So Leah saw that, hey, a troop coming. And she said, hey, God. Because that's what God means in the Hebrew. God means troop. So when Leah saw that a troop coming, she called his name God. And Nomen Omen, which is name prediction. To something that would have happened to this person in the future, right? No. Leah was Jacob's wife. Zilpah was her handmaid. God came out of Zilpah's body. Hold on, Salaki. Yeah, God came out of Zilpah and Jacob. Right? God being the so-called North American Indians today. They are Jacob's sons. They are one of Jacob's sons. They are part of the 12 tribes of Israel. Now, Leah called God they are called the baby when he did not born God. She called him troop because she saw a troop coming. No, this Genesis 49 and 19. It says God. Now this is Jacob now. When he was about to die, called he 12 sons. And prophesy and tell them what will befall them in the last days. Now, let me do get simple here. The last days wasn't 200 years ago. Neither was it 50 years ago. It didn't begin 50 years ago. It didn't begin 200 years ago. The last days began over 2,000 years ago when the Son of the Most High was on the scene. We ignorantly call Jesus. That when the last days began. Right? And I have a precept to prove it there. This is Hebrews chapter 1 verse 1. It says, God who at sundry times and in diverse manners spake in time past unto the fathers by the servant, by the prophets. Verse 2. Hath in these last days spoken unto us by his Son, whom he hath appointed heir of all things, by whom also he made the worlds. So he says, had in these last days spoken unto us by his Son. So that means when the Son was on the scene, that when the last days really came. That was in the beginning of the last days. Can? So, the last days was over 2,000 years ago. That is when it started. Right now we living in the last of the last days. Living in the last few seconds of the last days. But the last days began a while ago. Now, Genesis 49 verse 19. It says God, a troop. This Jacob telling God what will happen to God. It says God, a troop shall overcome him, but he shall overcome at the last. I read it over. God, a troop shall overcome him, but he shall overcome at the last. Because when it all said and done, God will rise up, but it say a troop shall overcome him. So like, yeah, hold on. Now, when you watch this, and watch this, watch how they live in there. Them people are looking like they've been overcome by something. What was the troop that overcame them? The US cavalry. They overcame these people and them and killed them with the guns and the cannons and all these things. I go into all that, and because I could go and type up the cavalry and thing on the net, but I ain't gonna go into all of that. If you want to, you could type up the US cavalry and you go see that the US cavalry, what they was doing to the North America, so-called North American Indians, going back hundreds of years ago. So that was the troop that overcame them. Let me read it over. It says, God, a troop shall overcome him. And that happened already. A troop did overcome them. A troop did overcome him. The US cavalry. Watch how they living today. As I said earlier on, boy, these people, this tribe was a warrior tribe, you know. When you read about this tribe of people, they used to war everything, you know. There was dread, boy. And even when the so-called white man was on the scene, even when the so-called white man come on the scene, they was giving the so-called white man real fire, real heat. There was real fighting him. They was fighting him, they was trying to fight him off. But prophecy had to be fulfilled. Because it said a troop shall overcome him. And they been overcame by that troop. The US cavalry. Right? But he shall overcome at the last. Hey, and that time very, 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 very soon. Where the Most High Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Shai going and put the spirit upon these so-called North American Indians in the low estate like how there is today. And the Most High go and raise them back up to overcome the so-called white man. Because prophecy had to be fulfilled. Remember, it fulfilled peace. It still have an next piece to be fulfilled. Because all now, all as we speak, these people and them still overcome. You're still seeing them looking like they've been overcome much. Yeah, still seeing them like they've been overcome because look at how they're living there. See? All them pictures on them. So, the remaining part of this prophecy ain't fulfilled as yet. It ain't fulfilled as yet. Because it say he had to overcome at the last. Really, all tribes going and overcome at the last. All tribes going and overcome at the last because go and have a dread race war against the so-called white man and against the nation of Israel in America. And other parts of the world go and have a race war against them. Most I say we go and be as lion in the midst of sheep or something, so to that effect in Micah 5 and 8. So all the tribes go and rise up. But this prophecy pertains to God. But he shall overcome at the last, because he's going and overcome the so-called white man at the last. And the last, we in the last right now. So this prophecy going to be fulfilled very, very, very soon. And until the next time, I will say, Barakataya Hawaba Shami Awashai. Hopefully this was edifying through the Spirit. You know, it had a lot of pausing and you might hear a lot of dogs barking in it. Because we are taping it right now, it kind of off route. But hopefully it edifying. And till the next time, I say Barakataya Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and others, a great millstone that rule well, and salutations again to the elect. Shalom.